The Adam and Eve story, if they were Gen Z. God was playing checkers with his angel homie Jaquavius. Archangel Jaquavius was among the top 5 gangsters in heaven. He's who God sent first when it's time to do a drive-by on a devil. While playing checkers, Archangel Jaquavius got a call from his angel baby mama, Shaniqua. She said she needed $100 heaven to get her hair and nails did. So Archangel Jaquavius gave his current address so Shaniqua could come pick up the money. Shaniqua did not come alone, however. She brought 3 sexy angel friends with fat butts and even fatter wings. God, being the universe's first player, did what all high-level players do, which is flex in the presence of fine shorties. God decided to do a magic trick and impress the ladies with his powers of creation. And that's the truth of why humans came to exist. First, God molded man from some dirt on the ground. Then God exhaled his minty, fresh breath into the nostrils of his dirt arts and crafts project, which then magically came to life. This dirt monster's name was Adam, and he was the first human. God's a clean freak and wasn't going to allow the dirt creation to stay in his house. That's why God traveled east to a place called Eden to plant a garden for Adam to live in. So technically Adam was a bum, he had no job and lived outside. Thankfully, God was even nice enough to grow trees in the garden that produced food, so Adam's broke ass didn't need to get a job to eat. God gave Adam one rule: you can stay in my garden, rent-free, and eat almost whatever you want. Just make sure you don't touch the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam was a pretty chill dude, and he laughed at all of God's jokes, so God gave Adam the honor of giving names to all of the land and sky creatures that were created so far. Sadly, none of the animals that were given names made a good companion for Adam. The guy was lonely as hell when God was too busy to hang out, so God decided to create a special friend for Adam. In my opinion, giving Adam a PlayStation would have solved the issue. I don't think a problem exists that playing video games can't solve. Anyways, God hit Adam with his Jedi mind control powers to put the man to sleep. And while Adam was unconscious, God performed a major operation without a medical team to assist him by removing a rib from Adam all by himself and then sewing the man's chest closed. Am I the only one creeped out that God was out here putting people to sleep and performing surgery on them without a medical license or consent? God was a man of many talents. Not only was he a surgeon, but he was also a geneticist. God took Adam's rib back to his laboratory and ran scientific experiments on it until he succeeded in creating an entire new human from Adam's stolen body part. Then God, trying to play matchmaker, took the newly formed human back to Adam to get his opinion. Adam definitely liked what he saw. It's not known for a fact, but most historians believe that Adam was an ass man, and Eve was blessed by God with the fattest booty to ever exist. God once again gave Adam the honor of naming his new creation. And since Eve came from the flesh and bone of Adam, who was a man, he labeled her a woman. Things weren't all sunshine and rainbows. There was trouble in paradise. It seems the saying is true about apples not falling too far from the tree because Eve does not know how to follow instructions, just like every woman I've ever dated. What happened was that there was this handsome-ass snake in the Garden of Eden that screwed everything up. The snake was 6 foot 3 inches tall, had a six-pack and 30-inch biceps, which is why it was so easy for him to sweet-talk Eve into doing whatever he wanted. Sadly, not much has changed since then. Women still have this easy-to-exploit weakness. Just ask my cheating ex-girlfriend. Anyways, the snake was doing its usual morning run when he stumbled into Eve taking a nap under a tree. Eve was woken up by the snake's cat calling. "Damn, girl, you fine as hell," said the snake. "Oh, thank you," said Eve. "Do you got a man, shorty?" asked the snake. "Yeah, my boo's name is Adam," responded Eve. Stealing girlfriends was the snake's favorite activity. As soon as Eve admitted to being in a relationship, the snake immediately thought of a plan to break them up. The snake thought if he could get Eve to do something that made God mad at Adam, then Adam might dump her. The snake immediately set his plan in motion. "Have you tried the delicious fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil?" asked the snake. "No, I haven't, because God told me and Adam to not go near it," said Eve. "God's a hater. He's just trying to keep that tasty-ass fruit all to himself," said the snake. "But God told us we would die if we ate any," responded Eve. "He's just trying to scare you. Ain't nothing wrong with that fruit. Plus, eating it will make you smarter. You'll know what good and evil is, just like God. I even heard that the fruit makes wieners grow. That's why God is packing so many inches," said the snake. "Oh my God, Adam is going to be so excited to know that. He's been so insecure lately about the size of his weenie," said Eve. At this point, Eve was sold. She ate a fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and then grabbed one to give to her husband. Adam was shocked to see Eve with the forbidden fruit, but once she told him about the positive side effect that the fruit has on wieners, he was sold. Adam ate the fruit and had his eyes opened to the concepts of good and evil, like Eve. Now they both finally realized that they were naked, so they made loincloths to wear by sewing leaves together. Then God made a surprise visit to the Garden of Eden, probably to play some League of Legends with Adam. The couple heard God's footsteps approaching and hid their semi-naked bodies behind a tree. God asked Adam and Eve why they were hiding. Adam said they're embarrassed and hid because they're practically naked. "Who told you that you were naked? You ate the fruit I told your asses not to touch, didn't you?" asked God. Adam snitched on Eve for being the one who gave him the forbidden fruit. Then Eve put the blame on the snake for being the one to persuade her to eat the fruit in the first place. Needless to say, God was pissed. The snake got teleported in front of God and got chewed out. God told the snake, "I'm going to curse you and all your ancestors." Then God used his magic to zap away the snake's sexy muscular arms and legs. God even replaced the snake's beefy pecs and six-pack abs with a skinny, tube-like body. Thanks to God, that was the last time a snake was able to use its hot body to persuade a woman to do evil. Then God turned his anger towards Eve. God told her that as punishment, now pregnancy and delivering a baby was going to be a painful process for women. And now, because Eve expanded her consciousness after eating the forbidden fruit, a secondary punishment was her having different desires than Adam, yet being forced to sacrifice those desires in subservience to her husband. Then God turned his anger towards Adam. God said that as punishment for letting your wife lead you to disobedience, you will be cursed to bust your ass hunting and growing food to eat from now on. No more living an easy life where every physical need is satisfied by a magical garden. God then kicked Adam and Eve's disobedient asses out of the Garden of Eden, dooming them to live a difficult life out in the wilderness. Now, thousands of years later, thanks to those two idiots, we're now stuck paying sky-high rent prices and $10 for a gallon of milk. On a side note, research studies show that people who don't subscribe to my YouTube channel are 5,000 times more likely to contract AIDS. Protect your health by hitting that subscribe button.